Flex and Seconds Out here with Anthony Yarde, lying in the camp room, whatever we're going to call it, small side area of the gym. How are you liking it here in your new home?
I love it, man. You know, Stephen's got like 3 of these gyms in amongst Barking and Dagenham, one in Ilford, one in Barking, one in Dagenham. He's doing a fantastic thing here, man, so I'm always going to support it. Again, this is a home to me. It's a home. I've got keys to the gym. I can come in whenever I want, and that's what I've been missing. So it's been good.
I want to talk to you a bit about COVID. I don't want to dwell too long on a negative, but it seems like pretty much everyone who's asked you about the losses you suffered in your family during that period has asked how you've coped, how you've bounced back from it. Just wanted to give you the opportunity, if you want to pay tribute to the people you lost and just tell us a little bit about them and what they meant to you.
You know, I don't know, it's a family thing, so it's a bit private. But yeah, it's all love. And yeah, it's not really a subject I really want to touch on camera.
Okay, that's fair enough. Let's move back to boxing then. Dex Pelman, September the 12th. What did you make of his performance against Lyndon Arthur? And how do you think the fight between you and him will differ from their fight?
It's just business. It's a sport of entertainment. And I'm just going to go out there and do a job, really. I'm not focused on no one but Dex Pelman right now. And that's what I'm training for. And that's who I'm going to be fighting September 12th. So everyone needs to tune into BT Sports September 12th and see entertainment.
When you considered Spelman as an opponent, was one of the things that he had fought Lyndon Arthur and it could be used as a measuring stick between the two of you?
You know what, it's a mixture of things. It's behind closed doors. I want to fight, I want to stay active. He's a live opponent. He's got loss on his record, but he comes forward, he comes to fight. And he's very resilient. Again, look, he took Lyndon Arthur the distance. Lyndon Arthur's got a good knockout ratio. I made comments after the fight about it being boring, etc. I don't watch boxing. I don't watch fights. I like to watch old school fights and the good ones like that. I don't sit there and watch the old fights, which wasn't very entertaining. I go and watch the fights that were entertaining and exciting fights. Because that's the kind of style I wanna have behind me. You know, the good fights, the exciting fights, where the fights where big shots were landing. So I watched the fight. BT Sports tricked me into watching it. But yeah, I watched it, and yeah, my comments on it were just, you know, Lyndon Arthur, I felt like at one point in time he could have stepped under pressure and got him out of there. So again, everyone knows my style, and when I see the opportunity to take someone out, I'm going to do it.
I want to ask you about the WBO situation. I think you're currently ranked number 5. Yes. Some of the people above you are involved in this WBO mini tournament, if you like. Joe Smith Jr. beat Alida Alvarez. He's in line to fight for the vacant belt. But the other two guys, Salamov and Vlasov, no one knows when they're going to fight because they're currently on different continents with COVID and everything else. If it was put to you that you could step in as the number 5 against Joe Smith Jr. for that vacant belt, is that a fight you'd relish? Well,
again, I'm always up for fighting for world titles. That's just me. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so that's why I prepare. I said it in, you know, interview quite a while ago. I don't only train for now. I train for my future. And when I went to Russia, I was very well prepared. I just had an almost impossible task, and that was having to knock out Kovalev in Russia. But I was prepared for that fight. There was people saying, "Oh yeah, I wasn't fit, etc." You try going to Russia, being jet lagged, having your luggage taken away from you, having no hot water to have a shower, and having the only option in your mind is to knock out Kovalev. So again, that's gonna tamper with my performance a little bit. The fact that in my mind I'm saying I have to knock this guy out. But again, it shows me, because I don't try and prove anything to no one but myself, it shows me what's my character I've got. When I say lines in the camp, I mean it. And no matter what odds against me, I'm going to give 100%.
You say you don't watch a lot of boxing. Have you seen Joe Smith Jr.? Did you watch his fight against Alvarez?
Do you know what? When this is something that Tunde told me, he said, "Don't you remember?" And I was like, "No." Joe Smith, I like him, he's cool. When we went to, he's the one that knocked Hopkins out the ring. That's right. Yes.
And he knocked Alvarez out the ring as well.
He done the same thing. When we was in, me and Tunde went to New Jersey to watch Kovalev against Alvarez, the first fight. When Kovalev lost, and Joe Smith Jr. was there. And then we was talking to them for a while, and then Tunde said, "That guy's in your weight class." And I was like, "Oh yeah, he looks familiar." He's like, yeah, that's the guy that fought Hopkins. And I was like, oh, cool. So me and him was standing there talking or whatever. I'm like, he's got a good energy about him. I like him. Sometimes in boxing, you might fight somebody, but it's not all about hate. You don't hate everybody. Sometimes it's about, you know, having respect for somebody. But if me and him could fight for a world title, that would be fantastic. That would be something I'll be out for. I saw a clip of him as well, knocking out Alvarez with a lead right hand, good shot. So yeah, I see little bits on Instagram.
And Kovalev's one of the only other fighters ranked above you in those WBO ratings. Could you see that ever happening as a rematch, maybe over here this time?
Possibly. You never know. You never know. We did ask for the rematch again. I'm a person. I'm a man of pride. We asked for the rematch, and then they obviously turned it down. They had the Canelo fight next or whatever. I'm a person. I want to fight for world titles, man. I want to fight for prizes. Fighting for ego sometimes ain't always the best thing. It has to be strategic, even though it's like that little thing in me is saying I want to swing it out again. But we'll just see what happens in the future. Boxing's a sport. It's not an ego test. It's not it's not the world's toughest man. It's the best boxer and the best businessman. So again, someone like Floyd aced it, making hundreds of millions.
Everyone today's asked you about Josh Buatsi, predominantly because of the Frank Warren offer to Matchroom. Did you have any indication he was going to put you down on that list with all the other fights before it happened?
Oh no, but it's expected. These are the biggest fights in British boxing, and some in world boxing. Some of these are the biggest fights. So it's what the fans want to see. It's what the promoters want to see. It's just about making the agreements. Right now, again, I won't touch on the subject of if the fight's going to happen, when it's going to happen. I think it's definitely going to happen, but when is another story. It's just about me dealing with Dex Pelman, the person who's put in front of me, and putting in a good performance.
You've said before you don't think the timing's right for you and Buatsi right now. If their Matchroom had come back to Frank's offer and said, that's the one fight out of the whole list we want to make, we want it this year on pay-per-view, would you change your plans and your timeline to accommodate that?
What, behind closed doors?
Well, potentially, yeah, or with a certain number of fans at the end of the year?
Behind closed doors, absolutely not. Because I will have to think as a boxing fan as well. If I was a boxing fan and there was no option of me going to that fight, I would feel like I was hard done by. And I would feel like I'm robbing the fans of such an exciting night of boxing, doing that behind closed doors. And I thought that would be a very selfish thing to do, regardless of payday and things like that. And right now, none of us are world champion. And I feel like that's a fight. Having a world title in the mix will make it that much more juicy. Having a crowd there will make it that much more juicy. So I think that's a fight that can brew a little bit more. He can keep doing what he's doing, I can keep doing what I'm doing. And we can make that fight big in the future.
I'm reluctant to ask this because I know you don't watch a lot of boxing, as we said, but you against Buatsi for a world title, if that happens, would be the biggest British fight since what?
Probably Dillian Whyte versus Joshua. But again, it will be up there, you know. There's loads of British fights that are just up there. You know, you got Eubanks and Nigel Ben. So I'm tired of them betting interviews.
I don't know whether you meant like senior or junior. I'd say Groves. No.
So that's what I'm saying. There's loads of big fights out there. Fights that captured the attention of not only British fans but fans around the world. And if that's behind closed doors, it wouldn't feel right.
So assuming it's not going to happen this year, what do you think is going to be the best fight we've got to look forward to for the rest of this year? Not just British, but around the world. What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Yarde versus Dex Pelman.
I thought you might say that.
Next week, I'll just be honest with you, 'cause that's my only focus. It's like when this fight got announced, I forgot about all the other fights that are planned. You know, off the top of my head, a fight like Elway Spence versus Daniel Garcia, fantastic fight. I know both guys personally. I'm a bit upset that they're fighting, but I'm happy for them at the same time. But yeah, that's a fight I'm looking forward to, because they're both fantastic fighters, and that's going to be very entertaining for the fans.
Great stuff. Well, it's always a pleasure, and really appreciate your time.
Thank you.